testing stuff out and I've got this decent angle worked out and it's like, it'd be a shame to waste it. Hey, thanks for popping by. I feel like gushing about the Red Control app once again. It's just one of those things that makes life really easy, especially for doing like this kind of thing. I'm here by myself, filming myself. You know, all I've got set up here is like a tripod, a single light, a big open room that's really not open. There's actually a bunch of basically everywhere around me. You just can't see it in the frame. Ha 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 ha. But I'm just, using this here Red Control app to set up this framing, get my exposure, and trigger the recording. It's just like having, a director's monitor control at your fingertips, but it's built into the camera. I didn't have to spend a cent to make this happen except for, this rigging stuff that I already had to make a handle for a smartphone. And then it's like, I'm using an old phone here. This isn't even like, my phone's in my pocket. I don't like actually using my phone for this kind of stuff. So this is the phone that I bought, 6 years ago or whatever. And it just works great as something that is set aside as a director's monitor remote. I can hand this off to a client and like lock it to the app as well as lock the app itself so that the remote won't trigger anything, and just give it to a client while I run around with this camera or set up shots like this. And the client can monitor production, which is like a really big like added feature. Clients really like that. It's something great when you walk in the door and can hand them a nice little package where they can see what's going on without hovering over your shoulder. So I was looking at some like wireless transmitters and receivers, and I'm thinking like, I've got like all kinds of stuff. So other stuff that I've got is like, I've got a Raven Eye. So a Raven Eye is a transmitter that will transmit to like the DJI Ronin app, and you can use it to monitor. I don't think you can actually use it to like trigger when it's just the Raven Eye itself, but you can, use the whole Ronin gimbal and have a similar workflow to this where you can monitor an image, and in that case, like control the gimbal and everything. But with like this, it's every setting in the camera. There's like more than what I can actually access in the camera itself, because now they've added things like face tracking to the app. The developer of this app is a fantastic guy. So that's the Raven Eye. Like, that doesn't even come close. The other comparable that I have to this is with my Canon C70. So the Canon C70, you have to like plug a dongle into it, set up a network, kind of similar to this in the sense that you still have to like create a network on the camera, connect to it. The lag ends up being a whole lot worse, even though you end up adding your own dedicated solution, and it just doesn't have nearly the amount of control as this. And it isn't an app. It's like you're logging in through a web browser portal, so you can actually do it through a laptop. And when you do that, there's a lot better options for controlling the camera, but it's still not nearly as robust as this. Now with this, you can log into it through a web page as well, and it's not as nice as the app, but it's still great. You can access all of the menu functions. The monitoring tab ends up being like a little small, but you can blow it up if all you're trying to do, I'm looking over the TV screen, if all you're trying to do is like blow it up so that it's a wireless monitor for a TV. Most TVs now have a web browser, so that you should be able to connect the Komodo to your local network, and then through the TV also connected to that local network, just use the web browser to, hit the IP address of the camera. It'll be a more basic looking remote, but it seems like all the functionality is there. It's just great. This makes me happy for what we are going to see in the future, because like, especially for Red, it's only gonna get better from this. This is the worst that we're gonna see, and it's already fantastic. For me, setting up a shot here, that's totally gonna be out of focus. Ha ha ha. I guess you can kind of see how the lag is. It's not bad. It's not bad. If you're like a solo operator, or if you're a YouTuber and just like you need to set up shots and make minor adjustments without touching the camera, or if you have like a production camera on a crane or on a gimbal or something like that, this is just a fantastic solution for being able to control yo shit. Later.